Guys, so a couple of days ago, I received news that the Akasha system had finally received an update. Now, first off, I do want to say the Akasha system is something that has been managed by, I think, a singular person who's basically doing this as a hobby. So first off, thanks, Mimi. Well done. Now, this new update includes Emily, Jean, and for some reason even Molani leaderboards. Like, damn, that's really, really fast. But most importantly, we now have Clorinde leaderboard. And I'll just say this, I know for a fact that the Clorinde mains have been scammering for Clorinde leaderboards for the longest time now, so finally, they've been fed. I'm not entirely sure if I would call myself a Clorinde main just yet, but I do feel that particular urge. Now, upon waking up one morning and checking out these Clorinde leaderboards, well, it turns out I have one of the world's strongest Clorindes. Of course, normally when I say I have one of the world's strongest insert characters here, what I actually mean is I just have a top 1% build, which is still really, really nice. We do love seeing our top 1% builds. And real talk, I figured, you know, my Clorinde build is looking pretty good. It would probably just be a top 1% build. There's about 100,000 builds in there. I don't know, maybe number 68, thereabouts, you know, nothing too dramatic, just, you know, a top 1% build, but at least a solidly top 1% build is exactly what I was expecting. Because there's two roles in my build that are not particularly useful. I think there's like 2 HP roles in there that is somewhat unfortunate, so, you know, it kind of is what it is. And it's certainly not something that I will be bothering to try and fix anytime soon, because that's just min-maxing on a level that is hitherto insanity, and we have characters upcoming that I would want to build first, you know? So, when I woke up to find that my build is actually ranked number 8, not top 8%, but actually number 8, yeah, I had a pretty good day that day, right? Now, the leaderboard that I am actually rank 8 in is a Quickbloom DPS leaderboard using Haran Geppaku Futsu, because of course that's the weapon I have. There are obviously Absolution leaderboards, but there's also Mistsplitter and Finale of the Deep leaderboards, which, by the way, as you might expect, my Haran Geppaku Futsu build is ranging from either somewhat decent to just absolute trash on those leaderboards, so no surprises there. The big surprise for me, I guess, is that there's no lo-fi build leaderboard, so I was kind of hoping maybe that would be a thing. I would like to see what alternative builds I could make at the present moment with my other TF pieces would be ranking on lo-fi. Wow, that was a terrible use of English, but either way, we're going to press forward. Now, that being said, here's the funny thing. On my leaderboard, being the Haran Geppaku Futsu leaderboard, whilst I am only rank 8, I am actually the world's strongest Thundering Fury Clorinde. All the other builds that are above my build are whimsy builds with, for some reason, one singular build that is actually an Echoes build. I hope that person playing that build has very low ping, because otherwise Echoes doesn't work as well as you think it would. So, meanwhile, the second strongest TF build on this leaderboard has a bit more crit damage than me, but they also have a little bit less crit rate and a little bit less attack, and I think that's what's cooking them at the present moment. We're here with Clorinde and Masanori. Now, here's the thing. In the Quickbloom DPS leaderboard, we actually have a couple of characters that are being used for this comparison that I don't really have. Namely, an 800 EM Nahida with the Jug. I don't have the Jug, and with the pieces that I currently have on my account, I actually can't reach 800 EM. I don't have an EM Deepwood hat, so that's not really an option that I can demonstrate. But I do have C2 Nahida, which the leaderboard uses C0 Nahida, so, interesting, right? And the leaderboard also uses C2 Farina, which, no surprises here, I don't have C2 Farina. My Farina is C0. And this is a team that doesn't involve a healer, which in my opinion is a bit scuffed when you're trying to play a Farina team. Granted, this is a C2 Farina, which begs the question, is C2 Farina how a lot of Clorinde players are apparently claiming that Clorinde can maintain Farina's fanfare stacks? Let me know in the comments if that's the case, because certainly in my C0 experience, this is not the case. I've talked about this before. C0 Farina and C0 Clorinde, you end up with at best 100 stacks after a second rotation, so not exactly conducive to Farina gameplay, if you ask me. But I guess it might be the case if you're playing C2 Farina, because C2 Farina, for those who don't remember, is basically increased stacking. That's how that is, so I guess that could be really good with Clorinde. Let me know in the comments if you have C2 Farina. So instead, to demonstrate the absolute power of my Clorinde, I will make a little adjustment to the Quickbloom team used for these comparisons. Of course, I will replace my C2 Farina with my C4 Mona, specifically C4 Medic Mona. The C4 is completely wasted on Clorinde, but it will be useful on Nahida, who will bring her crit rate up to 96%, and my Fischl, who currently has a little bit more than 85% crit rate, so that of course will mean that my Fischl will start overcapping on crit with C4 Mona. Of course, obviously, Mona's Omen buff doesn't last as long as Farina's buff, but whatever. Putting all of that aside, that's what I'm going to do. Let's get into this. So, in a team like this, I guess we'll start with Nahida, because her buff lasts a very, very long time. We'll go into Fischl, we'll do an Omen buff.
Shadows of fate loaded.
And then we can basically start dashing as long as we want. We're doing a lot of damage. Shoot on sight!
One shot.
Oh, we're gonna do that again. Alright, let's do this. So, we're going to start off with Nahida. Then we'll just go into Fischl, we're going to Mona's buff and that, and then we just start popping off. I love that he blocked it because I forgot to use Nighttime Masanori, but either way you can see the kind of damage that we were doing with both Clorinde and Fischl. Now, of course, this is not a Clorinde team that I play a lot. In fact, I barely ever put Fischl with Clorinde. And I know. Fischl works really, really well with Clorinde, especially in aggravate teams. I know. But that's not really what I do a lot myself. So, let's have a look at the kind of damage that Clorinde can do when you just full send into Clorinde's DPS. And so you have a team like this. HYPERCARRY Clorinde. And having Mika on this team does immediately sound a bit sus, but he's actually really, really good because of the attack speed that he gives, and because Clorinde is essentially a rage character, it means that hit lag isn't a thing that you have to worry about, which is why attack speed actually just ends up being a straight DPS buff.
Loaded.
And yeah, that's the kind of damage that we can do with HYPERCARRY Clorinde. Even though my Clorinde is extremely well built, one thing that has been pointed out to me is, oddly enough, along with some of my other really, really well built characters, my clear times are not necessarily extremely fast. And I think the reason why is actually quite simple, is that even though I've spent a lot of time and a lot of resources building my characters, I'm not like sweat lording things that are time trial, for example, Spiral Abyss. At the end of the day, I think with my incredibly well invested characters, I just actually get to take the time to chill and, you know, not be too hardcore when it comes to playing the game itself. Sometimes I do actually want to be really hardcore and playing the game and be like sweating it out and all that jazz. I do actually find some excitement in that as well. But especially when I'm playing Clorinde, Nicolette, Aloy, Lisa, Father, Navia, like a lot of these kind of characters, I actually just chill. I'm not too like hardcore invested in getting the fastest time. I just want to be able to get a time where I can get, let's say, all of the stars I need in Spiral Abyss, in order to get all the Primo Gems that I need in Spiral Abyss. As long as I can do that, I actually just chill and take my time completing various encounters. And this, I think, is really highlighted whenever I play Clorinde, because you may notice that in my Clorinde gameplay, I don't stick strictly to the three pistol shot, 1 dash rule. This is supposed to be the way that you maximize her damage. 3 pistol shots, 1 dash, 3 pistol shots, 1 dash. I think this is pretty much known throughout all Clorinde players. But you may find that I don't do that. Why? Because I don't even care to use her dash for damage half the time. I actually care to use her dash for mobility, because that's the thing that I really like about Clorinde. I get to use her mobility quite a lot, and I really like using that mobility to dash around the battlefield, not just to dodge incoming damage if I can sense the incoming attack, but also to just chase enemies around. I really like that a lot. So yeah, to that extent, having a really well built Clorinde means I have the leeway to essentially not do the optimized damage rotations, and still have a lot of fun playing her regardless. So yeah, at the end of the day, Clorinde is the most fun character to play in the game, in my opinion, and I get the feeling that my build is heavily influencing my opinion on Clorinde. Thanks for watching. Let me know about all of this in the comments below. How do you feel about your Clorinde build? Let me know in the comments, and what rank are you at with Clorinde if you actually have Clorinde and you have built her. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more Genshin Impact content. And as always, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Decided by destiny. Into the shadows.
Vengeance will be mine!